Oh, huh. Something's going on with the system. I don't understand that. My thing is not even playing. Guys, I have no idea why my mic is not muted. No, that's really strange. I've never had this happen. Where my promo didn't even show up. None of them. None of them are coming up. Okay, give me a second. I know what I'll do. I'll take us off the screen and maybe it'll show. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Hi guys, welcome back to On the Town. I'm sorry that we had to create a new link. So we are live. Yes, you're saying it's not a mirage. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but it's okay. Technicalities do happen sometimes when you use these devices. So we apologize, but we're back. Today's guest is an illustrator, a cartoonist, and he is the creator of The Five Footers and Sword of Tara. Please welcome Chad Taylor. Hey. We finally got you. We got you.
We're here.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I won't keep you long. I appreciate you for coming back and keep trying until we get it right. I'm on delayed. Yeah. Yeah. You can hear me fine, or am I in delayed response?
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. It's really weird. So we'll just get right to it because you never know with this thing how long we have. So we're cherishing each moment. Your early career. Sure. Yeah, your early career. What led you to your career in cartooning? Like how did you get started in this field?
It's an interesting question. I don't think I've ever been asked that actually. Like just the initial start. Cousin used to draw a lot, and he was very good. And I used to, go to my grandma's house on the weekends and stuff like that, and he'll be there, and I would see him drawing and stuff, and I was trying to emulate him. And yeah, I think one time we were drawing, and I remember it was like Sonic the Hedgehog or something because I loved Sonic as a kid, right? So, and I drew, and he was like, "Man, you didn't draw that." I was like, "Yeah, I did draw it." Like, and that gave me like an inkling that that I was improving as an artist or whatever. Even though I was just doing it for fun, I'm a kid. I wasn't thinking about the long run of it, but I was just having fun in that moment, and I just kept at it, kept at it, and as a teen, well, I had like an initial series that I worked on when I was like 14, or whatnot. I'm a kid, just trying to put words to the paper and stuff, see if something sticks. I'm entertaining myself initially or whatever, of course.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna go ahead.
Did you have a friend? Did you like show it to your friends and they were like, all right, finished. I want to see another episode. I want to see another one like that, or you just did it for yourself?
All right, so let's jump fast until like when I started the Five Footers in high school, right? So I had drew the initial one. Let me see, what year was it? I'm gonna say 2001 ish or whatever is when I first did like the first one I'm working on. I showed like my close friend at the time and a few other people, and of course my brothers and sisters and everybody close to me knew about that. And fast forward after high school, I think like a year after high school, right? Summer 2004. I had went to the library, ironically close to where my grandmother stayed. So you see how that tied in together. And they had like a thing for like comics or whatnot. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring my comic down there, that I'm working on. I mean, I was shy about it, but I was confident enough to go down there with it. I didn't like I'm trying to think because I mentioned it to the person who was hosting it.
Mhm.
I think he might have mentioned it to the newspaper was actually down there, the
Mhm.
Cincinnati Enquirer. Like I didn't know that that was going to happen, so they came down and they asked me a few questions. It's like, oh, I see you have your because I had the comic book with me on hand. They're like, oh, I see you have something there. What is that? I was like, it's my comic, The Five Footers, that I'm working on. And
Mm.
like a month or two later, I was in the newspaper. I didn't plan that. You know what I mean? And
Right. Yeah.
so when that happened, I had a few people like I have people come up to me that I knew. My niece came up to me initially. I was like, Chad, you know, you was in the newspaper. I was like, what? Because I think I did the interview, but I didn't think they would put that in there. Like,
Right. Right.
so I was like, wow. So, yeah, that was like the beginning there, right
So
there.
that inspired you to say, wait, I'm onto something. This might be what I'm called to do. Like that's inspiring.
Yeah,
Or
exactly. You're like, you're onto something. Like, yeah. And so, yep.
yeah.
And
Wow.
in
Well,
2009, I had put it out there. I published it, self-published it.
oh, okay. And so right now they can find it on Amazon, correct?
Amazon. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep. Five Footers and Sword
Yep.
of Tara is another one. So I put it up there, guys, so you can see it, and you
Sort
can
of
always
tour.
inbox. So what? So here's the thing. I found
Yep. Yep. Yep.
some stats on cartooning, and I thought it was so fun. Some fun facts. So the first person to do it was Thomas Nast in 1840 to 1902. He's considered the father of political cartoons. Have you ever heard of him? From Germany. He's born in Germany but raised here. So that's one. Uh,
I have it. I have it.
okay. Well, most people, I wouldn't
I'm
even look up the
definitely.
fact if I didn't have you on, but but because I was having you on,
Oh
I
yeah,
looked it up.
appreciate that. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Always
yeah,
learning more.
yeah. And Jackie Orms,
Oh wow, that's
1911.
beautiful. Yeah.
You know who that is? 1985. She was the first Black female cartoonist.
I, yep, I'm very aware of her. Yeah, she has some good work. Like I look at
Yeah,
that today and like
Torchy
that
Brown.
lady was very good at her craft. So
Yes,
that's
yes,
definitely a hero of mine. So
yes.
hmm
It's sad though. She was only published only in
hmm
the Black press. They would only publish her in the Black press.
yeah,
But
man, that's
consider the
unfortunate.
times. Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Exactly.
Yeah. So check this out. So the cultural impact, let's see. So 67% of cartoonists are white males, and only 4% are us, believe it or not. So you're hitting a good market that's a need. And now I can say
It is.
it may not so much be a glass ceiling as it is us now being able to say, oh yeah, I can see Chad doing that or Tanya doing that. Before we weren't really allowed to do a lot of stuff, so that's why we're just playing catch up. So I was happy to see the year into this whole thing because it's hard to find African American cartoonists. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What?
It's unfortunate. I'm glad that like this generation is creating and making a name for themselves.
Yes,
Black people of
yes,
color making
yes,
comics and cartooning. It's
yes.
beautiful.
It is. How do you approach um, representation or diversity in your work, and why is it important to you? Like when you make your characters, do you just make them because of whatever you're thinking, or do you consciously say, I think I need to put everybody in this, or it doesn't come as a thought?
Man, as a kid, I was like, I think I went to an elementary school
Mhm.
that had like a lot of diverse people,
Good.
diverse student body,
Mhm.
and so when I did like the five footers, I was like, my approach is I want to have different walks of life,
Right.
because I want different people to be pulled in or whatever. We're all allies to one another, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the character Dana, she has a prosthetic arm, and that character was modeled after uh, a young lady named Erica that I went to school with, and I saw her
Oh,
strength and her
mhm.
character just coming up or whatever. You just see people's story,
Mhm.
unfolding in front of you, and I never got
Wow.
to tell her this. So Maybe I'll
Wow.
send her this link and let her see, because I never had the strength to tell her though. How do you tell somebody, hey, I made like a cartoon, I created a comic book and the character is inspired by you?
Wow.
Like, I don't know
I
how
think
I would take that, and I make comics. Like, you know what I mean? How do you tell somebody that? So maybe I'll just send her the link and let her
yeah,
hear it
that's
for herself. But
that's
yeah, so Dana was modeled after initially her, like came from Erica. So Erica, if you see this, yeah, Dana came from was inspired by you. So
wow. Nice.
Dana ended up being a Latina, because I did recognize that need for different walks of life. Of course,
Yes.
you had Jewel, African
Mhm.
American.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, shows her struggle, whatever, and what she goes through in
Mhm.
terms of having her powers or getting her powers, and like her alias is Catalyst, because she kind of kickstarts everything, because like the surge in her body or whatever with her power set allow her to give powers to her friends. And you could
Wow.
see that like on Five Footers issue 2 when they first get their powers or
Hmm.
whatnot. And then you have David, young African American boy. Of course, you need more male, of course, heroes of color or whatnot. African American boy had to do that. He
Right.
deals with different things in terms of being pulled in terms of his interests, because he likes he's keen to sports, but he likes doing other things as well. He likes chess and things in that nature. So it shows that just juxtaposition of, I don't have to be this one type of person.
Un-
I have a variety of interests as a person of color, and in my generation, you would have been made fun of that for that. I was in a chess club uh, in junior high, so that's primarily influenced by that.
right.
And you know, we just we didn't think of, oh, we have to. We were just kids being ourselves and whatnot, and going for our interests that we had. And yeah, so each character comes from a different background and
Hmm.
embodies different things. And then I realized that I was touching on neurodiversity when I
Hmm.
first put out the Five Footers as well, and I want to read that back, and I know that I'm a neurodiverse person. um I realized why I made that. Like, oh,
Wow.
this is why these characters having that neurodiversity, which is something is known now, but then we had no idea, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, I'm glad to be in the forefront of those type of things. That I had the
Mhm.
audacity to do that. So
Yeah.
yep.
I, speaking of forefront, I saw you were speaking at one of the conferences. Why is there a phone ringing? That's really awkward. I'm sitting here and there's something ringing on the other side. Don't ask. Okay, so we'll ignore that. I saw that you did a conference and you spoke on a panel in 2000. I couldn't get the year, but I know you spoke to. It was I think it looked like a room full of people who a cartoon. I wasn't sure, not Comic Con, but I wasn't sure what it was, what the event was. But it was a bunch of people that obviously wanted to hear from minority cartoonists, and you were on one of the panel. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah,
I saw
that was a Cincinnati Comics Expo. I don't know what year. I forgot I even did that. I had filmed some of that.
2018, 18 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
remember. Yeah, but I
That might have
saw it.
been 2015, 16
Yeah,
maybe. But
yeah. It was cool because
it was a
for that.
diverse panel. Yeah. Yep. It had a young African American lady, an Asian gentleman as well. It was a diverse panel,
Yep.
giving that perspective on things as far as creativity. Yeah.
Do you guys now? Did you ever, or does anyone ever create a not a union, but a group for you guys only, so that you can process stuff together and figure out, okay, we're moving in this area, we're not moving in this area. How do we make this happen? Let's raise awareness about it. Have you ever done anything like that to raise awareness about it? Because there's so many out there. They're in pockets, pockets. So we
Yeah.
need,
Just diverse cartoonists.
yeah,
Um, I know Facebook had a lot of Facebook groups when
okay,
they first started the groups on Facebook. It was one in particular that had all of the, I swear, all of the. If you pay attention to the current generation of cartoonists of color,
Hmm.
this group had all of them. Like the
Okay.
current pocket of creators of color,
Hmm.
this group
Nice.
on Facebook used to have all of them because
Nice.
everybody was just trying to collaborate and come up with their thing and find their niches. And it
Hmm.
was it was interesting to just to be the witness that see people, everybody in that group coming to their own.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, a lot of them are doing remarkable things in their own right. Like really
Right.
took the bull by the horn. You know,
Hmm.
we were trying to figure it out. It wasn't like you can tell all these outlets now, or I could go to this crowdfunding place. I can go to here.
Right.
We that wasn't there yet.
No.
So we were just trying to figure it out. And the dots start piecing together over time or whatever. But
Right.
yeah, those artists are doing great.
Nice.
So it's
Very nice.
awesome to see that.
Yes. What are some of the unique challenges that you face as a African American cartoonist, and how do you navigate that space?
Man, I try to put as much good energy out there as possible without necessarily expecting something. Um, I do notice this little ceilings, pinnacles, certain things that we're not able to access in terms of resources and things of that nature. I'm glad that I'm independent and don't rely on
Right.
other entities or whatever to get my product out there. Because there's still like horror stories about like an artist getting with a company and that publisher doesn't give them their royalties on time.
Wow.
That publisher or gets any royalties at all.
Oh
Like
wow.
people are going to court to this day, like very much like the people who made Superman had to go to court to be
What?
able to get certain royalties from DC Comics, and that's the pinnacle. And you can imagine what has happened to people of color or whatever, or people who are that came after that generation and whatnot. There's
Nice.
people still going through that to this day. So as me being independent, nobody can take from me because
Wow.
I have my copyright, so I have my business down packed. Like, so
Good. Good for
yeah,
you.
so and
Maybe you
in
want to give
in
that
terms of,
pointer.
so I don't have to ask for certain things like that.
Hmm. Right. That's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
that's
yeah. So I just try to maneuver. I try to put my best foot forward, be
Mhm.
authentic about myself, and
Mhm.
and network with people like yourself, people who understand the plight of a creative of color or whatever,
Mhm.
who recognize that. So I just kind of ally myself with people who make sense and go about it that way. Because
Right.
if it's like that movie World War Z, like we all are trying to go over the mountain, like or that wall. Is
Mhm.
some of if we all help each other, I stand on the shoulders of the generation before me, et cetera, et
Right.
cetera. And some people are
Right.
going to get over that hurdle in different aspects or whatever. So
Yes.
yeah, I just think of it that way. Yep, we're
Wow.
all a community.
We are. We absolutely are. Can you share like a specific
Yeah.
project or anything you're working on that holds a personal meaning to you? Like what was your inspiration behind it?
Hmm. Um. Of course, I don't know if you remember, right? So I still have this novel that I'm working on, right? So I used to talk about it on Facebook, or not Facebook, but I used to talk about it on Twitter every so often. And
Okay.
it's called the Safe Zone. So,
Cool.
and the Safe Zone initially was almost autobiographical, right?
Mhm.
Like I had wrote it in the sense of me being a person like in my 20s at the time, coming up with the initial concept, it just wanting to get my feelings out there, figuring things out as a young man in their 20s, thoughts and feelings, right?
Right.
Uh, Kind of like in my first approach to five footers, is like I'm thinking about like the character's feelings initially, and like the actual writer mindset came to me a little later as far as plot development and things
Right.
of that nature.
Mhm.
So, and that's where I'm at now. Like as far as being a good plot developer and writer, I can do those things now. Look, so I was working on, and I'm just doing like the final edits of the Safe Zone, right? So
Cool.
that
You got to
now
come up.
is, yeah, it's a process, man. Like
I
that
know.
now is more so a thriller. It does have some aspects of that angst of being in your 20s and trying to figure things out. Because that young man, is the protagonist's name is Charles, and he wants
Mhm.
to be a mechanic. And in his city had a chemical
Oh, spill.
processing place who made products that's polluting the city.
Oh,
So, and that's affecting the community.
right.
And and that young man whose name is Charles, the protagonist, he develops asthma because of the
Mm.
pollution of where he grew
Wow.
up as a kid,
Mhm.
and different people around him were affected in different ways, and that classism. So
Mm.
that is rooted in, and another thing, mind you, a year
Mm.
ago, a place in Ohio, city in Ohio, which I'm in Cincinnati, but a city in Ohio called East Palestine was polluted because of a train derailment that causes like a chemical explosion or a
Wow.
chemical reaction or whatever, and the um the governor decided to release those chemicals into the atmosphere. And
Mm.
so I'm working on a project that very much is talking about that while it
Wow.
happens in real life, not that far away from me, like
Right.
far away that I'm not affected, but you can see that art imitates life, and life imitates art in that funny way. You can write
Absolutely.
something and it can happen in real life,
Yes.
and
Yes. Wow.
but pieces of my life is
Is
in part of that character. But yeah, it's
nice.
funny how life goes in that sense. So, mm-hmm,
Well, make sure you come back when you release that book for that.
mm-hmm,
Uh, we'll definitely
mm-hmm.
plug it
Man,
here.
it's wow. You,
Yeah.
Miss Cooper, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna send you a little preview someday, like when I get everything together. Just let
Yeah.
you read. It's beautiful. It's beautiful,
I know. I can imagine. I mean, you're
man.
creative. What cannot
Yeah.
be? When you're
Man.
creating your cartoon characters, how do you handle like your audience, well, your readers? If it involves like sensitive stuff or controversial topics, do you think about that, or you just like you said, write from your experience or write from whatever your mind lets you create?
Always been like an empathetic person,
Hmm.
so I know I wouldn't go off of the rails
Right.
per se or jump off the cliff with it.
Right.
I find that good balance because um, I want some subject matter is a little bit more serious in tone. I try to balance it there. It's a trapeze act
Right.
because
It
you try to
is.
balance that. I put a little humor in it. I put enough humor in it, enough
Hmm.
action,
Hmm.
drama that you can take the little seriousness that's sprinkled in or whatever that the characters go through. So I put that
Right.
balance in there to make sure to take the reader's account in mind. I don't want it to be too heavy on them. So, yeah,
Right.
that's my trapeze act with writing or creating. Mhm.
Nice, nice. What about diversity in the cartoon world? Have you seen how long have you been in it, and have you seen a big change or a minor change, or it could still be better?
Like I said, 15 years
Wow.
publishing and whatnot. So yeah, I'm grateful to be. Hmm. I wish there was.
Mm.
I think you were lightly touching on it. I wish there was a union, maybe. I
Hmm.
talked to a
Yeah.
friend of mine who was saying, "Oh, there should be stipends given to artists." Um, yeah, to artists, there should be stipends given to artists,
Right.
like different things. Maybe like a union, um, different things that different creators of. actually fought for in different aspects, and we're not quite there yet.
Right.
Um, like I said, some cartoonists haven't gotten their royalties back from their actual companies, so we still
That
have
part.
work to do. Just to make
Yeah.
sure, like legalization, there should be like a little legal fund for artists to be able to be protected if they have to sue a particular entity for their own royalties. They earn that, right? So there should be
Crazy.
like a legal. So we have a ways to go. We have a ways to go. Mhm.
Yeah. That's crazy. That
We have a
it's
ways to
just
go.
like the music business. I mean, I didn't think it
Yeah,
would be.
it's just like the music business.
Yeah. I see
It's
that.
just like the music business. Wow.
Yeah, a
Mm,
lot of it is about connections,
really is.
and if you're not in the circle, then you don't get as promoted as easy as the other person. But I do believe you need a union. If you
Listen,
don't need a union, then you need a group of artists that band together and have a set of rules that this is what we're doing, and we're not settling for this. And then it'll change because they do need creatives, and AI can do but so much. Quite frankly, I don't like AI art, but a lot of people love it. They think it's so great, and I'm like, that's horrible. That is horrible. I'd rather have
it's
you sketch
horrible.
people's food. Yep,
You're taking
yep,
away from creative people.
yep.
Like,
That part.
wow, man. And like you said, that whole union thing, it was a something had happened like a couple years ago where a cartoonist something had happened as far as like royalties and things of that nature. Where it had accumulated so much over a small period of time, and people speaking about it over social
Uh-huh.
media, it created like a bubble. And I had seen even people who work from the top publishers
Mhm.
commenting on it.
Wow.
So I felt like in that moment, I felt like something was going to happen, but
Mhm.
never quite materialized. But we
Mhm.
need to keep pushing the conversation so something can ultimately happen, for a union for artists or whatnot, because
That's
it is
that.
needed. And you know what it was? It was
Mhm.
around the time that you know what it was, Miss Cooper? It was around the time the actors went on strike, right? So when the actors went on strike, other entities started thinking about that as well. So
Yes.
people in the publishing community and the creative community start thinking about that. Hey,
Yes.
because of course, like you were saying about the AI, they were going, they were having these conversations. So the union, the actors union, so the AI wouldn't take over their industry or whatever.
Mhm.
And so that created a conversation within all creative communities, including publishing and cartooning. So we were
Yes.
having that conversation too.
Yeah.
Like it was
Ab-
really heating up. Like
yes.
very people at the top was really talking about that. So
Yeah.
we have to continue that. We have to
Yeah.
continue that in all industries.
For sure.
Hmm.
For sure. What changes would you like to see in this industry personally? Is there anything specific you'd like to see changed?
Um, as far as royalties, that has to be taken care of in all aspects. Let's say if somebody makes a comic, and let's talk about independent. So you make a comic, you want to make sure that the person's royalties are sent to them when you make a movie out of it. In the as far as the major industry, let's say like the top publishers and comics do a movie. There's movies out right now of those characters.
Yes.
The families of the people who created those characters should be compensated. Um, and that happens with some artists. It should happen with all artists. If I create a
Hmm.
character and I see that character on $1 billion movie,
Right.
I deserve to be compensated or taken care of. I have a family as well. So that
Absolutely.
should be numero uno.
Yeah.
Like there's no excuse, like
No.
at all.
No. No.
Like
Absolutely not. Mm. And
at
what
all.
advice?
So
Mhm. What advice would you give young artists who may be watching, particularly those underrepresented backgrounds, um, like who may be looking to break into the industry? What advice would you give them?
work hard at your craft, because if you put your all into it, that makes it harder for them to deny you. You
Mm,
know, um, you can kind of see, you know, the little things, the little quote unquote gatekeeping certain aspects. But if you put your all into your craft, then you will get somewhere. Like put your all into that craft. Make
Yes.
sure you're studying your anatomy, things of that nature. If you're
Mhm.
a writer, you have to read. You have to read. You have to read the greats.
Right.
Um,
That's true.
study, to
Yeah.
make your craft as good as you can, and so you're good and prepared. And try to do a little a little as far as business, learn a little business savviness never hurts as well, because of
Hmm.
course, like you said, like I said, I have my copyrights. You want to copyright your stuff if you're going to be independent and put your stuff out there to
Yes.
protect yourself. Because when you go to
Yes.
court, they want to see that paperwork. So let's be honest, like they want to see
Yeah.
the paperwork,
Yeah.
and you want to have that.
Yeah.
Don't sign anything without any legal representation.
Very
Let's speak
important.
on that as well. Um,
Yeah.
if you're a young, and I see a lot of younger creatives are getting more opportunities early, right? So
Right.
if you're like 15 years old, 16 years old, and somebody
Hmm.
throws a contract in your face like, hey,
Right.
we want you to do this, we
Right.
need you to
Especially if it's like
sign off on
Titan.
that, and they're not,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Especially
read
like
that
Titan
paperwork because
or
they're coming for the young artists early.
yeah. 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 I mean,
Hmm.
it's the same as the music and all the other industries. When you're young and you're
Yep, yep.
talented, sometimes we forget that it is our talent that is needed, not it's like they say you can find a talent that and doesn't, but I don't believe that. True talent is very hard to find, and what's the word? Original talent is hard to find. You can get AI to draw a picture of me, a portrait of me, but I guarantee you it will be different if my like my daughter's grandfather's an artist, if he drew it, it's going to be way different. It's going to hit a whole nother way. And so
Hmm.
you really can't replace us, in the sense of our talent. You can mask us and pretend on us, but you can't really replace the thing that you get when you look at a black and white picture that Gordon Parks did versus AI copied it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think. I mean, some
Yeah.
people say, "Oh," I said, "I can tell the difference." I don't know why y'all can't tell the difference, but I can tell the difference. Maybe I've been, looking at the wrong AIs. I don't know, but I can tell the
No, no,
difference.
I think you hit the head on that because let's say I draw something and I have to redo the drawing
Hmm.
or like use a light box to do the drawing over. You could tell it doesn't seem as authentic. You could tell something is missing there.
Yes.
Like I hate even doing that. Like if I make like a, you know, but
Right.
yeah, you could tell. So you could tell it's a
Yeah.
counterfeit type of. It seems almost kind of stale. Like I don't know. It doesn't seem as
Right.
dynamic. So yeah, you could definitely tell the difference. It's not that
Yeah.
soul isn't in it. You got to put
Yep.
your foot in it. A machine
Yeah.
cannot do that.
Nope, can't do it. And I've seen some pretty interesting, I'll say, AI. But to me, I'm starting to see it so much now that I can spot it right away, and it's now annoying me because it's like these like even and I've done it too. I didn't know I was doing it, but I was doing it too. We all have those cartoon characters that we make ourselves on Snap. Those are
Yep,
AI.
yep, yep, yep.
I
Hmm.
didn't know. I mean, now I know, but back then I didn't know that's what I was doing. But every time you
Hmm.
search in Google, you're using it, you're feeding the machine anyway. But there is something to be said about hearing a song from a real artist and not because I've heard at clubs, I've heard the AI version of Beyonce or Jay-Z or whoever it is. I don't know.
Mm.
But it's horrible. It's horrible. I was like, who does not know that this is not really them? Like, I don't understand why someone would think that. But the my thing for why I love having artists like you on is
Hmm.
because I want artists to remember it is about us. It is about your talent, okay? And you're the one making the deal. So you, like you said, don't sign anything you don't know what you're signing to. Don't be so
I'm
desperate to
signing.
give away your talent. You know,
Damn.
yeah. Don't be so desperate to give away your talent, because like you made another way. You sell your own work. You're like, okay, well, Titan don't
Yeah.
belong. We'll make
And
something else happen.
it could
Yeah.
cost thousands of dollars in legal fees just to get your stuff back. Like if somebody takes it, a company that has it, and you want it back because you're not getting your royalties, you're not getting the things you need from it. It could cost thousands of dollars in legal fees that you can't afford
Wow.
before you can sell it back to somebody else. You know,
Wow.
it's
We
it's man. Mm.
Little things we don't know about. So any future, before we go,
Yeah.
are there any future projects going on that you want us to know about that we can support?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
I'm working on a book. It's like a shorter project, but um, called Soul or Take. Right. So it's like
So
these
what's it called?
brothers from North Carolina. Yep. Soul or Take. It's these brothers from North Carolina. Uh, First, the younger brother, he has like memory problems or whatnot, and
Hmm.
so figure it out. It comes to find out. He realizes that like his that he was in a his home got hit by a tornado when he was younger, and his
Hmm.
father made a deal in order to save his life. Right?
Right.
It's like a lot of magic and things of that nature. Yeah, supernatural
Wow.
elements in this book. I'm very
Right.
about that because I feel like on the entertainment value, it gives the people what they want.
Right.
And I'm gonna give you a story that hits you straight in the mouth. It's gonna
Mm.
give you everything that you want, right? So it has romance in there. It's gonna have that supernatural element in there, and to see, it's a lot. It's a nice niche market for black writers,
Uh-huh.
and
That's
as far as supernatural fiction and things of that nature. So
awesome.
yeah, so that's a good story, and they kind of use these dice to be able to play a game called Soul or Take, right? And
Oh,
you play this game, you could take a person's soul or other
right.
different things. Yeah, it was a
Oh,
fun project. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
excited.
that's a fun project.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Very
Oh my,
excited.
you're gonna love it. So
Well,
I want to
you
put
know,
that out. Hmm.
yeah, you're awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time to come and to come back again. And even though the first link didn't work for whatever reason, I appreciate you
Oh
taking the
yeah,
time.
man. Like we never give up. We never give up. You don't give up on your passion. You don't
Nope.
give up on your people. So
Nope.
we're gonna
Nope.
keep it. We're gonna make it happen regardless. So yeah, it means
That's right.
more
I
to
love my
me
faith.
this platform than any other platform. So
Well,
yeah,
thank
because you're
you.
with your people, people who
I'm
supported
trying.
you from the beginning, and
Yes.
we don't forget that. So
Nope. We love it.
yeah.
I love it. We love everybody here. Everybody that supports us, we support them. That's our motto.
Oh
And I
yeah,
love
man,
artists. Yeah. I love
man,
artists of all genres because
man.
I'm an artist. So we have to support each other. If we don't, we're doomed to fail. So or take
Who's
longer to
going
get
to? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's support each other. We don't have to wait for the
nobody else.
machines to do it or whatever. The people at the top, these corporations. We can support ourselves and create something for ourselves. So and
Absolutely.
own our
Absolutely.
own work in that process.
Yes. I
Mhm.
think you should start a well, not Comic Con because it'd be a Cartoonicon. I don't know if there's such a thing. Do they
Yeah,
have that? Do they
I,
have that?
oh yeah. There's different things. I'm thinking
Okay.
about doing. Let's see. I've been thinking about doing something that connects with trunk or treat. Trunk or treat. People have been doing that ever since like
Yeah.
COVID had happened and everything.
Yeah.
I've been
Yes.
thinking of doing something connected to that. That
Oh,
way, um, I'll maybe have a bunch of creators, and
okay.
we, of course, give candy, of course, to the kids and whatnot, but also promote our own things that we have going on as well. Maybe I'll give out copies of my book there, or
Right.
things in that nature that can highlight what I have going on in different other artists or whatever. Something
Nice.
to that in that realm. I've been thinking about doing that.
Yeah.
So
Link up
maybe
with
I'll
the other one.
still do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Well, also
man,
because
different.
you can also do not Zoomathon, but a Zoom version of it, a bigger platform. Do a platform so that way people go all over the cartoonists from all over the world can participate.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. That is something to.
It's a thought.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
thought.
What I
Thought.
have to pay that? So anybody doing, if like say regardless of what I do, anybody who's posting something on any of these streaming platforms, you have to
Mhm.
pay that initial fee or whatever for that to do
No,
that.
no. It depends. If you do the basic, you don't have to. There's paid
Okay.
and there's unpaid. So unpaid is usually less time or something's different, but but it still works. But if you did something like that, I would get about 10 of you to go in together and do it via like a Zoom or something, some other platform, or StreamYard, depends. There's Hopton. Well, Hopton just got bought out, but I would do that because it could be something that could be worldwide and everybody can participate. All the people who really love this can be drawn into it. So that's why. But in person is always better.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah. I'm definitely that's beautiful. I'm definitely gonna put that in my pocket as something to do. Yeah. Because we have to take it worldwide, baby. It has to reach everybody.
Yeah, because I'm sure somebody in Japan would like to know more about your work, or somebody in, Idaho or wherever. You know what I'm saying? So you can reach more people is the only reason why Zoom works, because now I can go when I do comedy shows, we can get people from Ireland and Africa on the same Zoom. It's amazing. It's amazing. So,
man,
it's just a futuristic thought, and we can talk about it anytime. But I appreciate you for coming. And any last words before we go, guys? Thank you for watching with us. We appreciate you. Any last words?
You can just follow me on Instagram, Unified Comics, UNI number 5.
UNI 5 Comics.
Yeah, UNI 5, and then put the I at the end.
Oh, wait, UNI 5 Comics.
Number 5, and then I at the end. Yep.
Oh, wait. Let me see if I got this right. Let me make sure. You'll tell me if it's right. Is that, wait, where'd it go? Tell me, is that right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Follow me Unified Comics on Instagram and Twitter if you like as well. So, yeah.
Yes, follow my Instagram. And guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. For those who came back, thank you. And those who didn't, I understand. It happens, but I'll replay this show anyway. And so next week, make sure you listen Sunday, because we have a film director from Too Cool Films coming, and their new film is coming out. And we have the cast. Some of the cast members will be here, so you don't want to miss it. If you've ever been inspired to be in the music business, this film is great. You will want to see it. It's fabulous. So next week, that's what we're doing. Okay. And thank you guys. Hang out with me for a minute there while I say goodbye to everybody. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next Sunday, 4:00. Woohoo! Oh, I have to go off the screen. Stay there. Don't hang up. Don't.